so that we're just kind of more centralized, and that way I don't have to keep looking clear over here. Does everybody know everybody in here? Okay. My name is Dayna. I am a MAPS coach. Kelly Sue, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Kelly Sue. I'm an agent that doesn't really practice real estate. I do more transaction, listing, marketing, director of ops kind of stuff.
For the homeowners team. So
Yes.
you're going to scoot you over here so we can all be...
I'll see. Okay, I have
Can't
to
hide
sneak out
in the
like
corner.
20
And since
minutes.
you're coming in, you can introduce yourself.
Samantha,
And?
Boston,
Individual agent.
individual.
Great. We'll go back to Nina.
Nina Hargad, individual agent.
Great.
Jelena Mull, individual agent.
Bob Onka, agent.
And
Stephanie Panos, broker, and I am no longer really practicing real estate. I'm on the admin side of the homeowners group.
great. So I'm delighted you're all here. Raise your hand if you have done a business plan before. Okay, good stuff. Good. Okay. The rest of you, why are you here? Jelena.
To learn how or what are the need to knows to write a business plan.
Okay, Nina.
I just thought you'd have some great insight, and I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. What's your ultimate goal though?
Well, I want to make sure that I'm setting appropriate goals and I have the tools to meet them.
Okay, wonderful. Andrew.
Yeah, kind of a combination of both of those. I know that you have lots of experience
Okay.
and just hoping some of it will rub off.
Okay. Take the halo off of me, please. This is quite tarnished. Not that great. And you're wanting to, did you say already? Why you?
Just get some advice from you.
Okay.
How you do things. I can only stay for like 20 minutes, so.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
And it's going to be recorded, I guess, so you could go back and
Okay.
pull up. So we're going to talk about business plans today. We talked about this a little bit before if you were in one of the sales meetings, where if you're going to go on a trip, you don't just get in the car and go. There's got to be some kind of a plan. And we do know that people that actually put a goal down will be much higher, there's a much higher chance of them actually reaching the goal. People that write the goal down, that even goes higher. People that write it down and show it to somebody with the accountability, the opportunity for you to actually reach those goals skyrockets. I think it's like 70%. Those that write it down, create a plan, and show it to somebody. So our goal today is for you to get started on what that's going to look like. And really, it starts with how much money do we have to actually make? And the allocation form, we printed off and shared it one day. She's going to bring one down. The allocation form is, how is your money allocated? Who was here when we talked about the allocation form before? A couple of you. Okay. There are 3 sets of expenses. Your Ellis wants to make sure that you dream a little bit. I'm going to try to write with my right hand today. We'll see how that goes. So the first part of your allocation form is going to be your dreams. Now when I say dreams, I'm talking about what do you want to do with your money when you make extra money? So somebody just share. If you could just dream a little bit and you made an extra $20,000 next year, what would you do with it? Yes, ma'am.
My son and I are going to go to Israel after he graduates from high school.
Oh, it's in my bucket list. Take me with you. That's great. Yeah. A-E? Thank you. Israel. Awesome dream. Anybody else? You have an extra $20,000 next year.
Marrying off my kid.
Marry off a kid? That is on video. That was Kelly Sue. Kick a kid out. Kick kid out.
Look around, I just want to get married off.
Okay, married off. We get it. Samantha, what would you do?
Honestly, I'd pay off student loans.
Okay, that's a huge goal. What would it feel like to have your student loans paid off? What would that feel like?
A relief.
Okay. So relief means you're getting rid of stress.
Yeah.
What would that do for you financially if you were to pay that off? What would that extra money leave for you?
Well, I could probably move out.
Oh, okay. So we're going a little deeper here.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Mom and Dad.
Yep.
Okay, what would that do life?
So I said, okay.
A lot.
Name some. What would that feel like to be out of your parents' house?
I think a lot of it would just be like when you get to my age, you feel like you need to be on your own and independent, but those are kind of like society standards. But you kind of get to that point where you're just like, okay, I don't always want to have to rely on my parents for this, that, and this, you know?
Okay, that's a great dream.
Yeah.
Would 20,000 be enough for that?
No.
Okay, so what is your number? This is where I want to go with this.
Yeah.
What are those dreams? Kelly Sue, what would you do with an extra 20,000?
I literally would. My daughters do want to get married, and I would be able to help fund that for them.
Okay. I knew you were sort of joking, but I thought there was some
No,
reality
it
in
really
there.
is true. I would.
Okay.
I really would love to be able to throw them kind of the wedding that they're looking for, blah, 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 and make it easy, stress-free, not crazy, but, you know, just a little less stress for them, worrying about every dollar and penny of them.
Amazing what we do for our kids, isn't it?
They give it right back to me, so I have no complaints.
I know, it's awesome. And I'm, Norm, no.
Bob.
Bob, where did I get Norm from? Norm! Bob, what would you,
Good flavor.
Take a cold beer.
welcome, Colleen. What would you do with an extra $20,000 next year?
Um,
Or whatever your number might be?
Maybe, well, a little bit more, maybe I'd start some side business with one of my sons in town.
Okay. What would that do for you?
I think it would, for me, would, I just would like the experience.
Okay, what would that do for your son?
Give him some security, long term.
Okay, you give your son security, what does that do to you as a dad?
Just makes me feel good.
That's what we do. Jelena?
I think right away it would be some sort of trip, more elaborate than what we normally do.
Okay.
Some sort of memory would be the first extra 20,000.
The first extra 20,000.
After that, there's more things.
So you want to build memories?
Yes.
Okay. Colleen, what we're talking about, everybody, this is Colleen Schultz, individual agent.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Colleen. Real quick, Bob, Jelena, Nina, Stephanie, sorry, Samantha, Kelly Sue, and Andrew. Did you get that? There's a test.
I got it.
Okay. We're starting with dreams. We don't know how to do a business plan until we figure out how much money do we need. And Gary Keller says, let's start with our dreams. So that's where we're starting. We're just kind of talking about what would it do for our world if we had extra money next year.
I have a big one.
Which is?
I would really like to buy a condo in Virginia Beach. Because I have a baby coming in Virginia Beach.
That's where she is?
Uh-huh. I did not give her permission to move to Virginia Beach.
Dang, those kids.
I know.
But it's a good excuse to go.
Mine just came back.
I know. I'm slightly
I would just need them to have a baby. Okay, that's no. I'm not allowed to say that out loud. Okay,
This is a safe place.
this is a safe place. So we're dreaming.
Okay.
I want you to take on your forms that you just got. Oh, the allocation form's not in here. Okay, just on the back of one of these, I want you to write down 3 dreams and put the dollars next to them. I'm sorry?
Do you want me to go get allocation forms?
I think she's printing those off.
Okay.
I'm hoping she's printing those off because I can find them. Write 3 dreams and the dollars that would go associated with them.
We did this in bold yesterday. So.
Seriously? Oh, I'm so good. I didn't even know it. It's awesome.
So like how much it would be to achieve that?
Yep.
That's a pretty penny.
Mhm. You start breaking it down, it gets to be a heck of a lot less. And Ashley, if you're watching, and Terry, if you're watching, I hope you're doing the same thing. Dream. Doesn't matter how big or small they are. Well, I'm going to go to Israel too.
You can come with us, Dayna. It's going to be a big group, so it's not like just me and my son. It's all the seniors that will be graduating. So
That's cool. The place where we did our networking meeting, Beth Shalom Temple, every few years at the time, they were taking a Christian pastor and then a Jewish rabbi and trips to Israel. So you got both the Old Testament version and the New Testament, which I think would be amazing.
yeah.
It's on the list. Not on the bucket list. I can show you it's actually on the bucket list. Okay, you got your 3? Are you still thinking? Well, she's still dreaming over here. Come on, Sam. Dreaming. Leave a space if you need.
I just don't know how much all these things are gonna cost.
Well, you know too, you'll be making money as you go. So it's really what that initial investment would take. What would it take for you to put a down payment on an apartment or something?
Okay.
You know, what's it gonna cost for you to pay for your own food, your own insurance, that kind of thing. Okay, so here's the fun thing. What is your average commission right now?
0.
Okay. Let's go with the average sale price.
We can't ask the whole.
This is like you came to this.
So I make all of you guys feel better?
Yeah,
I think the average commission for a regular agent's right, $5,000.
yeah. The average sale price right now is what, 276
Yeah.
roughly? Times, we'll go 2.7%, is 74.52. So let's say 7,500, let's just round that up.
Yeah. I was thinking after the splits and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, we talk
Oh,
gross
okay.
commissions right now.
Okay.
Because once you start talking splits, everybody's got a different split, and
Right.
we'll worry about that stuff later. So, let's figure this out right now. Take your calculator, add up your dreams, and divide it by 7,500. Some of you might have more expensive dreams than others. That's okay.
So once you get that number, divide it by what?
7,500. That's an average commission. The number you get is the number of transactions you would have to do for you to have those dreams come true. Is this a safe place? Somebody share. What was your number?
In a month or a year?
In the year?
In the year. Oh, mine was 5.
5.
Exactly.
Bob?
14 and a half.
Okay, so 15, because you can't sell half a home. So 15 for your dream side. Colleen?
27.
Okay, for dreaming? Joanna?
14.
Okay.
9.
6.
11.
You get me yours.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. So now divide that by 12.
But like,
How many you have to do in one?
How many you have to do in a year?
2.2.
like,
One deal a month?
yeah.
Okay, that's for your dreams. Could you do an extra 1 deal a month? Could you do an extra 2 deals a month? Could you do an extra 3 deals a month? So keep that in mind. And I don't have the allocation form still. So on the allocation form, all right, we're gonna go get it. While we're sitting here, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna figure out, oh, thanks, Colleen. I think Wendy's got a copy of it. Okay.
Oh, this stuff? It's right, there's a copy. Is that what you're looking for?
No, it wasn't in the pile.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a whole, there's an allocation form.
Okay, Mrs. Dean.
This is to start, you're gonna do the same thing with your expenses and your personal expenses and your business expenses,
Okay.
okay? Just to
Thank
find out where you're
you.
gonna start. All right, so dreams are lovely. And then comes reality, which sometimes kind of stinks. So, what are your personal expenses that you're responsible for? If you have a spouse and the spouse pays most of your personal expenses, wonderful. What's your portion? And then what are your business expenses? Stephanie, you probably have almost no business expenses other than keeping up your real estate license. Right?
What's that?
You probably don't have a lot of business expenses except for keeping up your real estate license.
Correct.
Okay? So you're gonna figure out what are your personal expenses. Easiest thing to do is pull out your checkbook, your credit card statement, your debit card statement, your bank statement, and literally go line by line. This is where people really screw up. They forget things like haircuts, doctors, new shoes. What?
Teeth, glasses,
Oh, yes.
blah, blah, blah.
All the little things.
Every little birthday party, every little...
Entertainment, Christmas presents, put it all in there. And be as honest as you possibly can. You don't want to leave things out. You want that number. And you're gonna, don't forget to add taxes to it. And on the form that we're gonna give you, there's a little space to add the taxes, whatever tax bracket you're in, because personal expenses, unfortunately, are not tax deductible. Business expenses are. So, I mean, let's say you have $100,000 in personal expenses, and you're in the 25% tax bracket, how much money do you need to cover? 120, 125, whatever, roughly, yeah. 120, 120. Is that right? 25%? 125. I don't know, somewhere around that. Now, for your business expenses, please don't forget your fees, your continuing ed, your coaching, any traveling you do, the signage you put up, your lock boxes, your printing, your computer, throw something in there a little bit every month to cover if your computer crashes.
Postage.
Oh.
Every little thing that you just don't think you're
Every
doing.
little thing you don't think of.
You took 10 stamps from your personal postage, but you did it every month for 10 years.
You are an awesome woman. Thank you, my dear. Did she have it? And was she getting it? Okay, thank you. So get it all in there. Every bit of dollars you're going to spend on your family, every bit of dollars you're going to spend in your business. And then you're going to do the exact same thing. This is so you're not going to add taxes to it. So let's just make this nice and easy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you have an extra? All right, see the dream pages on the front page. I love it. Dream a little. Add your taxes to your dreams. We forgot to do that. That's why it's on there, because we forget. At the bottom, you'll see on this dream size, it says personal and business expenses. So your gross commission, you're going to divide that up by how much you need to live and survive. And then the bottom is how many deals you need to dream by. On the back will help trigger you for all the things you should come up with. Like Kelly Sue was saying, don't forget the Christmas presents, the birthday presents, the shoes, the glasses, the teeth, the haircuts, the clothing, the doctor's appointments. All right? That's really the main stuff. Now, for those of you who have been in business previously, some of you are newer, that's fine. Grab this page. Part 1, 2019, Business Snapshot and Sourcing. Page 1. Y'all get it? If you have been in the business before, and you've got a little bit of a history, you're going to very quickly just go down and fill these in. How many past clients did you do a deal with? Don't worry about the cost of the business, income, and all that stuff. We're just going to the basics here. How many sphere of influence or METs did you get a deal from? Did you do expireds for sale by owners? Anybody know what a geofarm is? Anybody not know what a geofarm is? Everybody's got it? Okay. Did you get some business from a farm? Just go down the list. How many deals did you get from each of these? What we typically see is the highest ones usually from past clients, sphere of influence, or past client referrals. Of all my coaching clients, I would say that's probably between 50 and 70% of their businesses. I have one that's 50-50 between, but they spend a lot for Realtor.com and Zillow, and we're working on that. Believe me, we're trying to get him off of that stuff. But his business is 50-50 right now. Gary Keller says your database is your data bank. When the shift happens, what will prevent you from becoming one of those real estate agents that gets out of the business because they're losing their house is your database. How many are you in bold right now? Oh, excellent. What are they talking a lot about in bold? Does your database ever come up?
Yep.
Only once though.
Only once though? They only brought it up just once.
It was kind of enhancing.
Uh-huh. Okay, so if you get that part done, and I'm gonna, let's just finish this. Well, that may not be ABD. part 3. Jump to part 3. Part 2 is all about, like a team like Jeff's team would, want to take market share and he's figuring how much market share he's taken. So don't worry about that. You guys are just getting rolling on this stuff. So part 3 is, okay, where do I want my business to come from? Oops, sorry. Wrong one. This one. Business goals. What business sourcing? 2020 business sourcing. This is what I wanted you to pull up. So this is where you're going to decide how you're going to run your business. Look at those categories. What's the cheapest way you can run your business? What category would you get more business off of? Cheapest way. Don't spend hardly any money.
Past clients.
Past clients. A phone is cheap. You've already paid for it. Pick it up and use it. What else could you do with your fear of influence and past clients besides just calling them to connect with them?
Host an event.
Events. Do you realize you can call every one of your clients if you do 4 events a year and have a reason to call them every time? May I share it? I'm going to do a Christmas photography thing. It's first weekend in December is when this is going to happen. So really, 2 weeks ago, I would have made the first call. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Colleen, it's Dayna Murray. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Hey, I'm going to be putting a wonderful Christmas event together. I'm so grateful for you and all the help that you've given me over the years and your support of me. I would love to just thank you by inviting you. Keep your eye open. I'm going to send an e-bite. All right?
Okay.
If you don't get it, will you call me?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll check in with you just to make sure you got it.
That would be great, because I might forget.
Good. Anything I can do to help you today?
No?
All right, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Dayna. Is that an easy call? You have a reason to call. So 2 weeks later, or maybe the week later, ring, ring.
Hello?
Colleen, it's Dayna. How are you?
Oh, Dayna! I got something from you.
You did. Did you get? Was it able to be opened?
It did open, yes.
Good. Are you guys available the first week in December?
Yes, actually.
Oh, I'm so excited. You know what? It's going to be a fun, family-friendly event. You have any friends, you can certainly bring them. Love to see you there. Can't wait to see you.
Okay.
Anything I can do for you today?
No.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. Week before the event. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Colleen, it's Dayna.
Hey, Dayna, how are you?
I'm great. Hey, our event's coming up next week. I'm hoping nothing's come up in the way. Are you still going to be able to make it?
We are.
I'm so excited. We're also going to be doing a Toys for Tots thing. If you happen to run through Walmart or something, you can grab a toy, bring along. Even if you don't have time, I'd love to see you.
That would be great.
Yeah, any friends you're going to bring along?
You know, we do have family visiting that week.
Oh, we'd love to have them come.
Are you sure that's okay?
Absolutely. More the merrier.
Okay, I don't want to be in imposition.
No, we can't wait to see you. I'll see you this weekend.
You know, Dan, actually, they're going to be moving here.
Oh.
Can I just introduce them to you when we're there?
I would love that.
Okay.
It would be an honor to help any of your family.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate you.
I appreciate you. All right, we'll talk later.
Take care.
Bye, see ya. Wow, look, 3 calls in like 3 to 6 weeks with a reason to call. And somebody came to her mind. So, Colleen, something came up, kid got sick, she couldn't come. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday after the event, I am calling every single client that showed up or didn't show up. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Colleen, it's Dayna. Where were you?
Dayna, I'm so sorry. I feel like we put you out. Everybody got sick. We had family here. It was bad.
No, I am so sorry you guys were sick. I'm hoping you'll be able to make it to the next event. I'll definitely invite you. You had mentioned you had some family. Are they still in town?
You know, they all went home. I hopefully took the rest of the flu with them.
Oh, I hope so too. I'm so sorry. Would it be okay if I just reached out to them?
You know, that would be great. They're actually going to be here next month.
Okay, why don't I reach out to them now, and I'll definitely clear off my calendar so I have some time for them when I come.
I would just appreciate you for doing that.
Oh, that's great. I'm so sorry that you guys were sick. It was such a great time. It would have been better had you been there.
It was my quick weight loss plan right before the holidays.
All right, you take care. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.
Thanks, Dayna.
All right, bye. So there's 4 calls involved. I'm going to be sending you an invite. Did you get the invite? Don't forget that it's coming up. And it was great to see you. Oh, darn, we missed you. Yes, ma'am.
What if they decide not to come right off the bat? Oh, we're going to be out of town. Do you still continue with the extra
reminders, or do you stop?
I would probably send a little email, we should be sending an email out anyway. Or you could call and say, hey, if your plans have changed, we'd still love to have you, even if you said you couldn't come.
Okay.
And you know what, if you have friends or family that just want a fun event, you're welcome to invite them to you, and if you can't come, they can come on your behalf. It's all about touching. So if you had one event per quarter, and you called them 4 times, how many calls is that?
And the cool thing is, in an event, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't necessarily have to cost you any money. You could raise supplies for your school district.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing an event and it's community involved and you're not spending a nickel.
It's just
Which,
your time.
not saying that you don't ever want to spend money to make money. However, if you're just starting out and you want to do something really cool, it gets you out in the community. And then you can also door knock that same event if you really wanted to in your area.
Thank you. One of my clients actually does a food drive.
Yeah.
So she goes to the local grocery store, she asks them for bags, it's advertisement for them. She goes and she calls them all, hey, we're gonna be a food drive on this date. Start filling up your pantry because I'm gonna be dropping a bag at you. Hey, did you see the invite for that? Here's the things that we're looking for. Did you get that? Third call, hey, it's gonna be this weekend, I'm gonna be driving by and picking up food. Can you make sure you set it out? Are you gonna be one that's gonna be able to do this? Great. Next call, thank you so much. Or
Drop a note in the mail so they have,
whatever.
yeah, just all, yeah.
Calls are easier, I mean, you know,
Yeah, you're spending money then.
you're spending money
Absolutely.
then. It can be a shredding thing. Very cheaply, you can hire a shredding truck. Great to do in April. You've just paid your taxes. Wouldn't you love to get rid of 7 years past stuff? Come to the shredding thing. It can be anything, any kind of event. I've got somebody who last minute is going to do a holiday event. Her photographer who does our homes is coming to a small little area. She's got a little tiny corner. She's putting a chair and a little Christmas tree up. She called all her clients, invited all of them, and said to them, I have limited appointments available for your holiday pictures. She's only got 21 spots. And she called like 160 people. They're already filled up. So her calls are, I am so sorry we couldn't get you in to do that. I hope next year you're one of the first people that call. Or maybe we can expand it to 2 days or something. So those are her calls. So my point of all of that, you're going to go by and you're going to look and think, okay, how many deals do I need? Because you have looked at your dream number. You divided it out on how many deals you need to do. You've looked at, I got a survive number. You divided out on how many deals you're going to do. And let's say that total is 36. I'm just going to do some numbers.
That dream number, you should be adding taxes to as well,
Correct. Yeah, it's actually on the allocation form on the dream side. Tax basis in there too. Now you're going to go and you're going to figure out, okay, where am I going to get this business from? You got the money to do social or website? No, direct mail. Where is it? Where's the other? Like pay for realtor stuff. You got the money to do that, and that's the way you're going to do it, great. If you're going to get all your business from your past clients, your sphere, your family, whatever, that's where you're going to put your 36. You're going to divide it up. Are you going to be doing some open houses? Open houses, yep, open houses are going to be in here. How many deals do you want to get from the open houses? How many deals do you want to get from your past clients? How many deals do you want to get from your sphere of influence? You're going to list that out. Because that's then where you're going to spend your time and your money. Questions on that at all? No. Extra page. We don't need that. Okay. So now we're going to get to kind of a little convoluted. I'm jumping quickly. We're going to get to this page. Take a look at this funky looking page. This came directly from Lamb Slogan, and it's one of the best ones I've seen. I was so excited to get it. I'm like, he has just simplified everything. Now, some of you that haven't had business in the past, you're going to have to just use some averages. All right? This is where you figure out how many people do I need in my database, how many calls do I actually have to make. So we're just going to use some numbers, and you can do it on your own. So right now, how many people do you have in your database? You can use your own numbers. I'm going to start with, I'm just going to put, I have 200 in my database. Whatever you want to do. Grab your calculator. So 200 times 6% is how much? And the 6% comes because right now, the average amount of business you can get from a database is about 6% of the number of people you have in it. You have 1,000 people in your database, whatever 6% of that is. 600? 60? This is a way for you to figure out how many people I need to grow my database to. Okay? Times your conversion rate. So let's say you have 36 people in your, or 36 opportunities, not opportunities, let me spec this. You have 200 people in your database times 6%. And let's say I'm really good at converting. 75% of the people that might have an opportunity, I convert them. So I'm going to multiply that 36 times 75%. What do you get?
9.
What did I do wrong?
You used 36, I don't know where you got the 36 from. It's 200 times 6% is 12 times.
Oh, I did 30, 200 times 6%. Ah, you're right, thank you. Is 12 times. I taught first grade, we didn't get past 12s really. We didn't get that high. Times 75%, thank you. So I have 9 opportunities with just 200 people on my database. And that's with a pretty good conversion rate of 75%. So if I need 36 deals, and only 9 of them are going to come from my database, where am I going to get my business from? What am I going to have to do? Let me tell you.
Find another leading source.
Find a lead source or
Start adding to your database.
grow that database. And if a database, Gary Keller is saying, is your data bank and will protect you in a shift, should you spend a lot of time growing your database? How do you grow your database?
Open houses.
Ding, ding, ding.
Geofarming,
Ding,
door
ding,
knocking.
Ding, ding, ding.
From your sphere already, who do you know that wants to buy or sell? You already know I do an amazing job.
Constant contact is the most.
How many
is
people
communicating.
do you have in your phone?
Yeah, no kidding.
How many people do you have on LinkedIn? How many people do you have on your Facebook page? Most people say, oh, I know about 200 people. That's why I use the 200. Really? Really start looking. Really start looking and add to that. So now we got to do something else. We got to figure something else. But in the meantime, we're going to keep going. So, total units sold goal, we're going to use 36. Let's keep our calculator going. So 36 total, divided by 6%, is how much? Make sure my math is right. Somebody help me. 36 divided by 6%.
600.
I got 600 too. All right. Divided by my conversion rate of 75%. That's how many contacts I need to actually end up with 36 deals
In a yearly basis.
on a yearly basis, touching them 36 times. Okay? Sounds like a really big number. You can grow that very quickly. Pick up your phone, look on LinkedIn, look in your Facebook page, and start adding people. Because here's the deal, and this is where people get confused. Yeah, I'm just making up a number. People think those are the people those 800 are the ones that are going to be buying or selling a house. What happened with Colleen when I was just talking to her about coming to the party?
People moving into town.
Oh, my family is thinking about moving into town. So if I'm talking to somebody 16 times a year, they're getting a dropped, what do you call it?
Promotion?
Email once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
A drip campaign,
Yeah,
that's
drip
where I was
campaign.
coming up, trying to get it out. Drip campaign, once a month they're setting something. Now I've talked to him 16 times. Now 12 of those times you're just getting something from me. If you do a just listed, just sold card or whatever, and they're looking at your name on the way to the trash can, you're touching. I'm not worried about the 800 people buying a home. I'm worried about every one of those people, the 800, and the 200 to 400 people they know. Colleen and I she still is very involved in BNI. Are you guys familiar with BNI, Business Network International? Anybody not familiar with it? It's a wonderful networking group. The whole purpose is they allow one person from any profession in the group. You build relationships with these people, you find out they're good at what they do, and then they become your sales force. I did an average of about $100,000 a year just for my BNI group and commissions.
Me too.
There were 60 in my group, between 55 and 60. Every one of them know 200 to 400 people. That's the beauty of your database. Typically, 6% of them will most likely buy. That's where I'm going to get my 9 for my 200, but if I want to get to 36, I got to grow my database up to 800. Okay? So then you get into the number of contacts needed to hit goal minus the number of people in your database, number of contacts you need to add. So if we need 800 and I've got 200, I need to add 600. That's math I can do without a calculator. This is just an eye-opener for you guys. Okay? This is a little bonus. How many you have in your database? One of my favorite people in the world is Carrie Schmitz, who owns kind of Maple Grove area. She and I started real estate almost at the same time. Carrie has 9 children. And at the time she started in real estate with me, she was homeschooling some of them on top of her real estate business. You know how she started her real estate business? Joey, name every friend you've got. Parents' names, you're in baseball, all the parents' names. Susie, name all the friends you've got. That was her database with 9 kids. And she grew it from that. Do you have spouses that have a database? Do your kids have databases? There's a lot more people out there you really actually know that you don't think you know. Your dentist, your doctor, the lady at Caribou, where you go, people at your church, at your kids' sports events. You guys, grow your database. Okay, Jelena said it too, that if I can't get everybody from my database, where am I going to get them from? So that's when you get back on that page we had, where are you going to get these people from? There's 2 pages out here. So your 2020 sourcing, my 2020 sourcing page. You're going to divide it up, where am I going to get these people from? So if I've only got 9, because I've only got 200 people in my database right now, okay, I'm going to do 9, and they're going to be my sphere of influence, and that's most likely. I'm going to use those. So am I any good at expireds? Am I any good at FISBOs? Am I any good at open houses? There's 3 places that are free other than open house sites. Are you good at open houses? That's a beautiful way to start your business. Because what can you do around an open house to grow your database? You can door knock. How much does it cost to go and knock on a door? The what?
The gas to get there.
The gas to get there, that's right. A really good pair of shoes, a pen, and some time. Some sunscreen if you need. One of my clients, she did a video. She said, I'm going out to door knock because I've got a house I need to sell. And I'm trying out this new makeup because it's 103 degrees down here in Dallas today. And then she did one after. She goes, look, I still look good. My makeup's great. And I met wonderful people. great video. So open houses. If you're gonna get it 9 from your database, how many open houses could you do literally in a month?
4, 8, 8, at least. But
You're just getting
I've
your,
done 2 on a Saturday.
we did a group and that's where I met you, so many years ago.
That's a while back.
That was a very long back. She went in with Keller Williams. We did it together. You do 2 in a weekend. If you're just getting your business started, how can you accelerate your business? Do 2 on Saturday, do 2 on Sunday. What are the best open houses to do?
What do you mean by that?
Where would you get the biggest bang for your time? What type of open houses would you do? Brand new listing.
What price point?
What price point?
Yeah, a good price point.
What is a good price point?
I would say 350 and under,
Ding, 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 ding.
right around there.
Sue, you're really good at this.
Every once in a blue moon I come up with an answer.
Why don't you want $1 million open house?
Tire kickers, not really serious buyers.
Most of them were represented.
Most of them are represented at that point. They know a lot of people. Yep. You get that 350 and under, that's a nice price point. Do you want to do a $100,000 open house?
Not really.
Maybe, depends.
Really?
If it's a condo.
Odds are you attract investors, and investors are either already represented or they don't want to be represented, and they're going to call the listing agent no matter what.
250 is usually where I do the best.
230 to 350.
Yeah, and the other thing you want to do is open houses in the areas that you want to work in, because you don't want to do an open house like in, you know,
Blaine or
somewhere that
Yep.
you're unfamiliar with, because, and then 2, if you're gonna try to attract buyers, they're looking in that area, so unless you live in that area and, you know everything about it, but you don't wanna live in Apple Valley and be, some people do it.
Smart group.
Right,
You don't want to be a star agent.
right.
I live here, but I'm going to work over here, and then I'm going to go way over here, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go back over here.
Yeah.
And naturally, your business will probably take you to all of those areas at some point, but when you're actually trying to build your business, you go where you want it to be built.
Go where you want it to be built. If you're
And
working,
consistency is really the hugest thing. Don't do 2 opens in a weekend once a month and go, well, gosh, nothing really came of that. You know, it's the calls, whatever it is, do it very consistently and religiously. Sorry, guys.
yes, that is key. And I'll keep talking about Carrie Schmitz because she just delights me. Carrie puts out between 30 and 40 open house signs every week.
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of work, it's a lot of money. And one way she had just the cheap little ones that she put in the ground. She was in our neighborhood and I saw her putting out, and they were the fold out ones, but she has the money right now to buy those. We have a lot of open house signs around here. Actually, I just donated mine all to the church, but people will let you borrow them too if you need. It really doesn't matter the name that's on it right now. You can start slowly accumulating that stuff, but you want to get out as many as you possibly can. So how many do you want to get from open houses? If you were to do, let's be realistic, maybe 2 a weekend, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I suggest doing both in the same day, get it over with, because you do need free time. You do need free time. Find that brand new listing in that 220 to 350 range in an area you want to be, and then work it.
And really work it. That's the key
Really
thing.
work it. In the shift book, I think it's page 73, I don't have it with me. It's the how to take the open houses to the next level. Has anybody ever seen this, like a triangle pyramid type of thing? No less than level 5. Level 7 is awesome. And that's your door knocking, you're putting flyers out, you're emailing the entire database. They want you to put balloons on your signs. I say go, and they're probably out of season right now, but Walmart or dollar store, find the little spinny pinwheel things, because you can tape them on, they don't pop, and you can use them over and over and over and over again. Worth the time coming here today?
Wherever you are, Dayna, all day.
Oh, Kelly Sue. Anyway, work it, work it, work it. Who knows the goal?
And the other thing is, if it's not working for you, raise your hand and ask someone. Or look online and find out who's hosting a lot of open houses and whatnot. Just say, I am not getting my traffic. What lines have you been using? Or, look for the scripts, or come to the Teen Market Center meeting and ask, whatever. Because you are gonna go through lulls, in my opinion. And there may not be anything you're doing wrong. It just might be one little thing you just need to, make a change for whatever reason.
And if somebody's really good at open houses, go shadow them for a
I was
minute.
just gonna
Exactly.
say, partner with somebody that
Yeah.
is really good. I mean, when I
And
was
door
doing
knocking,
my
too.
every single transaction I did for 3 years, and I was doing 12 a year, because that's what I needed to do. Every single person was through an open house. That's how I got my business.
I know, I
and
started my
then
business.
it was referrals from them, or they would, they were buying and selling twice or whatever. But that's how, for 3 straight years, that's absolutely how I got all of my business was open houses. And I didn't have my own listings or per se every time. I would go to one of the teams. Hey, who has what? And that's how you get them. And when you're in there, you're saying, you're representing the Keller Williams, not necessarily representing that group. Like if you're doing it for a team or whatever, and then you just let them know that, I'm not on this team, however, I know this is, the worst thing you can do is not do your homework before you get into the house. The best thing you can do is do your homework and know everything about the area, and so that you can, because people ask questions, especially in that price point. Those are first-time home buyers. They've never done this before.
It's very true.
So,
You also, Chris Kavalik used to work, she was on my team for a long time. She and her brother opened their own brokerage. Anyway, she went to go join them.
yeah.
She's a master at open houses, and I guarantee you, she would be more than happy, she doesn't work for Keller anymore, for you to go and just walk through. Tony Surma said to me one day, "What's your goal in the open house, Dana?" I said, "To sell this house." He goes, "No, it's not."
It's to get buyer.
Not? He goes, "Nope, it's to set an appointment." Every open house you go into, your goal is to set an appointment.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, actually.
Really?
And I've never thought of to sell the house. That has never been a part of my thought process, but my goal has just always been, or what I've always thought was to obtain a buyer, not set an appointment. That's stronger.
That changed my life. It changed my business life, because every open house I did, my goal was to set an appointment. And the appointment could be, and I know we're getting off of business planning, so the appointment could be, I'm gonna call you Tuesday. The appointment should be, I
Coffee on
have, Kelly,
Tuesday.
I have my phone right here. Why don't we just set up a time where I can just run through your house? No
Absolutely.
obligation. Great,
Absolutely. Let's do Wednesday at 4.
perfect. You're not represented?
Or buyer representation
say.
too.
You know what, you're probably making yourself crazy going open house to open house to open house. Why don't we do this? Why don't we sit down? You're gonna find out exactly what you need, what you want, and I'm gonna make it really easy. I've got Thursday at 2 available. Are you available?
I can make that work.
Perfect. Your goal is to set an appointment.
And if they are a first-time buyer and you have the time available, you can also set that first appointment to meet at a property of interest.
Yes. I prefer to have them
I
sit
agree.
down with you
I
and,
agree, but in this fast-moving market, if you gotta get an appointment, you gotta get an appointment. Sometimes that shows them how I've had it turn out, and I'm just saying how I've had it turn out a few times. You're really, you're not eager, but you look like, or you sound like you're really interested in helping me. And when you're willing to go that extra mile where other agents sometimes aren't, that can make a difference. If they're fighting you on coming to meet you at an office or
Right.
something like that.
so I always had 2 packets at every open house. The one packet was the agent copy of all the listings within $25,000 on either side of that house I was in. That was still available. And the other was the customer copy. Because the customer copy doesn't have the other agent's number on it.
That's yours.
Yes, it has mine on it. And so, just to your point, you know what? Look through these houses, and actually you can do it online now. You can set up a search, and if you have your, I'm now, years ago, but I didn't have Wi-Fi on my phone, but now I can have Wi-Fi on my phone. Look through these. Are you sure this house, we can't make this house work in some way? Because you're there representing them in that house. So we want to make sure there's no way they can buy that house. before you try to interest them in another one, because I almost guarantee you that either there's a microphone or a camera or something, your sellers are watching what you're doing.
Or it's the owner's sister. No.
Yes, but the person that walks in is not even related to, they're not buying, they're really related to the seller's relations. So your goal is to make sure, really, I mean, there's anything that can change about this house that we could make this your house? Are you positive there's no way this house could be yours? Okay, well, you know, there's other houses in this price range. As after I pick up my signs, I could meet you at 5 if you want to see one of these houses. You could do it that way. But always have, always have a representation, not affiliated business.
Agency.
Agency, thank you. Man, my brain's not working. Okay, off open houses. Whole point of this was, I think I'm off on one tangent. Your business planning, where are you going to get your business plan? I mean, where are you going to get your business from? Figure that out. Now, one of the things I didn't bring you today, well, let's finish this, sorry. I keep getting off track. There's so much I want to share with you. Part 3, on turning business goals. Now, you've figured out where your business is going to come from. So we're just going to work on database and open houses right now. If you know your conversion rates, meaning how many calls do you have to make to talk to somebody? How many somebodies do you have to talk to get an appointment? How many appointments do you have to go on to actually get somebody to sign the paperwork? How many contracts do you have to actually get to a closing? Do we need to go through this again? Do you guys track your numbers? Yes. I should?
Oh, I do. I don't think it's tracked well enough for me to actually be able to make a conversion rate.
But if we're using command and using the opportunities and doing that, it should be tracking it, right?
That should be tracking, tracks everything but your dials.
Okay.
So dials are connections that you
Sure,
have,
sure, sure.
whether it's
Yeah.
message or Facebook, whatever. Let me give you an amazing system. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I assume this is worth being here.
And it's better than a little spinny thing. Love it.
Ooh, talk to somebody. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. I made 20 calls and I talked to 2 people. Out of those 2 people, I made 1 appointment. I now know 20 calls, average, I'm going to get 1 appointment. And that also depends on who you're calling. If you're circle dialing, will your conversion rate be as high as calling your past clients, sphere of influence? No. And this is where people get really frustrated. Dayna, I called 450 people. This is literally a call. Dayna, I dialed 450 dials. And I talked to 15 people. I said, that's awesome. He's like, are you crazy? I said, how long did that take you? Well, he has a triple dialer. He goes, well, it took me an hour.
It's a good use of time.
You talked to 15 people in an hour? Dang, buddy, I'm thinking that's pretty darn good. Did you make any appointments out of that? No. Okay. But we've been tracking it, and what we know, if he's circle dialing, or just listed just sold calls, which is basically circle dialing. Are you all familiar with what circle dialing is? Okay. He knows his conversion rate is going to be a lot lower. So now he tracks on his whiteboard, he's got database calls, expired calls, FISBOS calls, circle dialing calls. And he just boom, boom. And at the end, did he make an appointment? No. Did he have any contacts? Yeah. So he really is just tracking that way. It is, I'm talking not rocket science here, guys. How are you going to know what you need to do every day unless you know how effective you are in what you're doing? This also gets to, I made 1,000 calls and I talked to 50 people and I converted 0 of them. Is that an effort problem? No, is it a skill problem?
Yeah.
Probably. I had him send me recordings. I've never heard anything so horrible in my life, honestly. His calls were horrible. Like, so bad I sent them to my coach, and she called me, she said, oh my gosh, this guy needs to be out of real estate. It was that bad. He's doing better now, just so you know. Definitely doing better, he didn't give up. He's doing it. But it was a skill thing. He was doing things on the call, making sounds on the calls. If you're having a lot of calls and not converting anybody and converting any people, ask a friend to come and listen to you.
I'll record your own calls and listen to them
So
yourself
that's
too.
You'd be surprised. When I was student teaching and I had to be evaluated, I taught school for a while, I would say a couple things because I was really nervous and I didn't know I was doing this. And my evaluator said, do you realize you go It's like, what are you talking about? I had virtually no idea. So my next lesson, I started to do it, and then I couldn't even teach the lesson. I'm thinking, don't go stop, don't make that sound. Track your calls on that highly complicated system so you know how many calls you need to make. So when we get to the part 3, you can kind of guess. So when I said, if you don't have any past business, we're going to use some ideas. So typically, a conversion rate is about 65%. You call 100 people, you might have a conversion of about 65, or you have 100 contacts, 65% of those might be your good conversion rate. That's kind of average. So how many appointments is it going to take for you to get your business? So we want 36 deals. You guys have any questions? Honestly, you can stop me anytime.
I was just gonna ask, do you think that circle dialing or like cold call dialing and stuff will eventually kind of sync as
The do not
we
calls?
get more, yeah, with that, and we get more technology based where everything nowadays is emails, text, chat boxes, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, even for myself, when I get a marketing call, people get so annoyed they hang up, right? I'm guilty of it, right? But for the people that aren't on teams, and they, like our team, we're on a team, and we don't have dialers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
None of us do that. We don't have that because that's not where we want to.
Right.
You know, we
You have a
want
whole
to
different
focus
plan.
Right. So but for the people that are on teams, and I know they still do the circle dialing and the thing like Mojo and all that. But it feels like even on just a personal note, marketing calls are just, people just hang up. They're not interested in what you have to say, or they've gotten 5 calls about their expired listing in the last 30 minutes. And I've been on the other end where they're like, someone from your office already called, you know, and it's been like 5 minutes or whatever. So, I just think, I'm asking you, because you're in the coaching piece now. Technology is making it harder because people are actually doing their own searches online and Zillow and all those kind of avenues, and they're reaching out, through
I can tell you,
those avenues.
they're teaching us at Bold now that it's really database. It's really,
Yeah.
That's what they're really
Who you know.
pushing.
Yeah.
And, they're saying Gary Keller is backing away from expired cold calls.
Yeah. I think
and
I feel like I
every
read that somewhere. That's why I asked.
Every week our teacher is saying, go to the front of the book and look at the fine. If you call someone who's on the do not call list, it's like $40,000. And so he says that every single time before we make phone calls. In other words, they're, like Dayna already said, he's saying your database is where
Yeah.
your money is.
But I still have clients doing it.
Yeah.
I think you need to diversify a little bit, maybe not throw everything out the window and rely only on your database.
Because if you only have 200 in your database,
Right.
Great.
where are you going to get them from?
Right.
That's why I asked the question, where are you
Yeah.
going to get your business
Yeah.
from? Colleen, what were you going to share?
I don't think it matters if you use an auto dialer or not. The point is whenever you talk to people, you have to have an authentic conversation. And if you're talking to an expired and you come across as an authentic person who actually cares and knows the market,
Sure,
that's different than being the auto dialer who's,
sure. No, I agree
but
with
there's
you.
no reason to not use an auto dialer to get that connection. I just don't think it's the auto dialer that will make or break it, so I don't know if it would be a good investment for you. It doesn't sound like it would be.
It's all back to the skills. Is it a skill set? I mean, my guy this morning, he just reported to me, he made 2 expired appointments today.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him on his, how many calls he made to get that. And some of it's follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. The average agent gives up after how many tries calling and talking? 2.
2 or 3.
Typically, how much does it take for a for sale by owner?
Ask yourself the question, how many times do you hang up on Bob before you take his call? Not you, Bob, but no, seriously, if someone called you twice and never called again, you'd never think of them again. If they called you 15 times, at some point you're just gonna say, what is it you want? And I don't mean that, like, that shouldn't be your business strategy, wear them down.
Yeah.
However, it goes to stand if you say no twice and don't give them a second thought, they're not gonna give you one either.
Yep, it's 7 to 12. Most agents give up after 2. After the 7th call, every Monday on a for sale by owner, every Monday on an expired listing. Hey, Steph, this is Dayna Marie. I'm just checking in. I know we talked last week. You guys weren't ready to list. Anything changed?
Yeah.
That's an easy call, Julie.
When you were making these calls, did you say that you were with Keller Williams or whatever agency you're with, or did you? Okay.
This is Dayna Marie. I'm a local real estate in your area.
Okay.
At some point, I would say Keller Williams.
Okay. And
Because when-
eventually, once
Yeah,
you know
when
you
gold
can
is
drop
going
that.
on, because a lot of people, and you guys aren't, that's not your priority right now, is making those phone calls. You'd have 10 expires and you'd have 400 people in bold calling all of them. The key to expires is first call, not last, first. They're irritated by the time you get to the last call. My favorite, it was 7:59. I thought, I'm calling, I'm just gonna start. Guy answered the phone in the first ring. His house had just expired. He goes, you're up working already? I love that. Why don't you come out and look at my house? It's like an $800,000 house.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they love me so much that they invited me to their Christmas party at their new house and introduced me as the real estate angel that solved all their problems.
Nice.
I was like, seriously?
That was a couple deals on a silver platter.
That was a couple deals on a silver platter. That was
I mean,
the price a
you
little
made
bit.
your own silver platter, don't
Yes.
get me wrong, you
Yes.
worked for that, but that's awesome.
Yeah. I was like,
So what'd you do? You dropped the price?
we dropped the price a little bit.
Yeah.
We staged the property because it was completely vacant and it was old and nasty looking. And most people were thinking to tear it down. And we went through and said,
Why?
this is really a cool property. Somebody might want to remodel this, but they have no way to vision it. So we staged it, sold it in a week. They thought I was God's gift to real estate. I just simply did my job. I didn't do anything fancy or anything
Yeah.
else.
People don't believe that, but a vacant house is harder to sell than a staged property. And just invest the money in staging, whether it be out of your marketing budget for just a few rooms or have the client do it. It makes a world of difference.
So we can either drop your price
Yeah,
by 10,000 or you can spend 2,000
staging it.
to stage it.
Yeah,
So as an example, and you could use this example, I had a drapery business for 9 years, so I sewed for Creative Homes and Ethan Allen and various designers. The builders that we sewed for, 10 to 1, a house that was staged would sell 10 homes to every one of the unstaged homes. It was insane.
yeah.
People can't see what they can't see past.
I think people, or the public gets confused between staged and the clutter that you're living in. I mean, we all have it, like, you
Yeah.
just combine and have all your own stuff and it's different. They're like, well, I have stuff for, yeah.
The best money you can invest into your seller is to pay for a stager to go out there.
Mhm.
And my stager
I
is
know
now
you
the
used to
worship
do that
leader at our church, because that was her first calling. But she helped groom my old marketing gal, Ashley Lone, who's now staging 2. And Ashley charges $150, $200.
And then you have somebody else too telling them all that they have an outside perception of she doesn't want a commission, that's not, her job, and, whatever. She's not throwing a bunch of stuff on you to get to the sale quick.
You're not
It's
that guy.
this out person just going, this is what I see for all of my clients across the
Yep.
board.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Okay, guys, I know we're getting, and I've got to get out of here in about 10 minutes. So, the gist of this, you're going to go through and you're going to figure out in your part 3, how many listing appointments am I going to go on? How many buyers appointments am I going to go on? How many am I going to sell? Go through and just fill these out. And then here's the key. I want you to take your calendar for 2020. Gary Keller says the first thing you fill in is what?
Days off.
Days off, your fun, family. Second thing you fill in,
Days working.
events.
Oh,
Keller Williams events, family reunion, masterminds, mega camp, any education classes you're going to take, any of those events that you're going to do. Then you're going to count up and see how many days am I going to actually work. So, if there is 240 days left that I'm going to work, which is somewhat fairly average, and I'm going to have to sell 36 homes, that's 3 per month, right? 3 times 12, so I got 3 per month. And let's say I've figured out I have to talk to 200 people to get 1 deal. I need 3 deals a month, so how many people do I need to talk to? 600. I need to talk to 600 people to get those 3 deals. And I want 36 deals. Now I need a calculator. Somebody figure that out for me. How many people do I need to talk to? It's a lot. We don't have to go through the math, but it's a lot. So now you can just easily figure out if I'm going to work 240 days, and I need to contact that massive amount of people, whether it's touch base with them texting, Facebook, calling them 4 times a year, whatever it is, now I basically know what I'm going to do every day. Does that make sense, Jelena?
So the 200 people to get a deal.
is it 200 to get a deal or 200 to get a, or did we say 200 to get a
I'm
deal?
just using,
Yeah.
just a
Right, to
quick
get the
conversion.
deal, so 200 times 36 is how many people you need to talk to.
1,800.
But do you really need to talk to that many people, or is that how many touches you need to make within the year?
Well, it depends on what your conversion rate is.
Okay, okay, and who you're talking to.
Yeah. So it may be if I have to talk to 1,000 people to get 1 deal, I may have to talk to a lot of people. Or if my skills are really stinky and I can't convert and I'm going on every phone call, then my conversion I might need to talk to a lot more people. I mean, we literally just discovered I finally got all my numbers from a brand new client, and in the last 9 weeks, he's gone on 24 listing appointments and has taken 9. And I said, divide that out for me. I think it was like 37%. So you're paying an ISA to make some appointments. You're buying lunches for people that you're networking with. You're spending all this time calling on those people. You did the research. You drove out to their homes. You walked through their homes. You tried to get on the list with you. And 37% of them said yes. Is that an effort problem? Or is that a skill problem?
What is the attrition rate for appointments that fall, like, not?
65% is a pretty average.
I
Depending on, I mean, if you're, for bold, they'll say 65% is a conversion rate. If I talk to 10 people, 6 of them will list. Well, out of that then, how many actually sell? Are you really great at pricing them? Are you in a hot market? I mean, we didn't even get into that because that's adding to your conversion rate. We're just kind of going a high level here of this, but you can really start digging down even deeper. So of those 6 people that actually signed up with me, got their houses on the market, well, 3 of them sold and 3 of them expired. Now you've gotten only 37% or 65% to show up and only really 30% of them are selling. So now I gotta talk to more people. I actually have an Excel spreadsheet kind of calculator. If you're interested in it, email me at Dayna, SL@Dayna, D-A-Y-N-A. Actually, send it to Maps Coach Dayna, and then Jello will do it. MapsCoachDayna@gmail.com.
And what are we asking for?
Ask for the hub.
Hub?
Ask for a copy of the hub. And it's where we track everything. And then there is a calculator that you can see. It's called the economic model. And basically you can put in, okay, I want to make $500,000 this year. And my cost of sales is $25,500 here. That's what the cap is here. And I'm going to do 60% listings and 40% buyers. And my listings taken to listings sold ratio is I sell 90% of all my homes. And my listings gone, appointments gone on to listings taken, how am I converting? We'll put the 65% in there. And then we do the thing for buyers. The buyers that I take out, how many of them buy the home? 1%. Buyers that I sit down with them, how many sign up with me? 65%. You click a little button and it goes, put your expenses in here and say, okay, for you to close on $500,000 worth of real estate, you need to go on 107 listing appointments and you need to go on 55 buyer appointments. Then I can go back to my calendar and say, okay, I'm working on 240 days. And I don't worry about making the buyer's appointments because if you get listings, the buyers will come. So I'm going to figure out how many listing appointments do I need to make a month. And I'm going to think, how many people do I need to talk to get to those listing appointments? So then we start getting to this part. We're talking lots of numbers. Bob, you have kind of a glazed-eyed look.
That's not uncommon.
Where did I lose you?
No, I'm just doing the math, and I'm just thinking it through, that's all.
Okay. You guys, I'm happy to help you. The next couple of weeks are kind of crazy because I'm going down to Austin for some training next week. Happy to send you the hub. At the bottom are tabs, and that's where you'll find the economic model to figure out exactly how many listings appointments you need to go on, how many buyers appointments you need to have. Happy to share that with you. Any quick questions? Was this helpful at all?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I feel like, I mean, this is like a 4-hour
Yeah,
conversation
don't you
typically.
do some individual training with teams, like the team leader?
Do I personally?
Like the MAPS coaches, don't they do
I'm a
that?
MAPS coach,
Right,
so I have individual agents, and some of them are the leaders of teams.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But it can't be from our market center, right?
I'm not supposed to
Yeah.
market,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So like
Do we
Christine and I
have a
can't
person?
coach anybody.
Yeah,
in the market
yeah.
center.
We don't have a person, do we have a person that we can use?
You just.
I've been trying to get Jeff, because I really think, because actually what Keller is going to, which is awesome, is they want it to be a net zero cost. And they actually want it to be, you to make money by being in MAPS coaching. Obviously you will, because your business will grow. However, they're going to offer training to anybody on the team. So there's going to be these modules, because I know Jeff had said, you know, what would it be to get some training for
Yeah.
some of your people.
Yeah.
So, and he thinks at such a high level, he would really need one of the executive coaches
Oh, yeah.
Right,
that could really work with his business model the way he wants. And that would allow a lot of training underneath him. I mean, I work with a buyer's agent that's just on the team.
right.
You know, he pays individually, his coach, or his team, his rainmaker pays for 50% of it, he pays for 50% of it. I mean, when Chris was on my team, she paid for half of her coaching, I paid for half of her coaching. I mean, it would behoove me to do that, because the more money she made,
No, exactly.
excuse me, the more money I made. Thank you. You're very welcome. Any quick question anybody's got? Andrew? You tracking with us?
I have, yep,
What's your goal this year, Andrew, next year?
for transactions,
Mm-hmm.
12,
Do you have a full-time job outside of this?
part-time,
Part-time?
yeah.
Okay.
But
What would it do to get to 18?
Talk
Say,
to
what
more,
would you
talk
do?
to more people.
Talk to more people.
But what would it take to get you to set your goal for 18?
To dream a little more.
Just write it down, I guess. I don't know.
I would always set the goal a little higher. I just would. I think I need 12, I'm gonna do 18.
I agree with her 100%.
What?
I agree with you 100%. I'm gonna be somewhere in
Hey,
9 minutes.
I wanna show you something. Excuse me.
I miss some college
Maps, Coach Dayna. I don't know what the 600 is.
Just had some.
Because you have 600 there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
That was
Is it our market center 600?
It is actually.
That's
Maps
what
Coach
I thought
Dayna@gmail.com. Sorry.
No, I was like, oh, that makes sense. My market center 600. Oh my God, that's
Maps Coach
hilarious.
Dayna. Yeah.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Dana, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
I posted the files to our Facebook page.
Great.
So all those forms, there were some people watching online saying, how do I get those forms?
Awesome. I gotta run.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dana.